Welcome to Go Skilling. It's November 3rd, 2024. We're talking about the US presidential election, and we're now 2 days away from Election Day on Tuesday, November 5th. US intelligence blames Russia for fake videos showing voter fraud in the state of Georgia and said that, among others, Russia is trying to interfere with the US elections. In New York, Donald Trump had a rally in Madison Square Garden, where, among others, Hulk Hogan and business tycoon Elon Musk appeared. But there was also an individual who made jokes about the US territory and island Puerto Rico, saying that it is a floating island of garbage. As a reaction to the garbage remarks, President Biden made a garbage remark on Trump supporters. And this caused some uproar and distracted from the Harris campaign in the media. Michael Wolff, the author of Fire and Fury, released an audio record of Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex predator, talking about the friendship with Trump and about his presidency. But now let's go straight to the numbers. Today we'll talk about the Electoral College, leanings Puerto Ricans, and here are the results. Donald Trump, 312, Kamala Harris, 226. At the moment, Donald Trump would be the next president of the United States of America. But you can see here in the chart, it is a wild ride. It's a roller coaster ride for both candidates. Still, Kamala Harris is ahead of Donald Trump in the popular vote. But, well, she's losing ground on Donald Trump, while Donald Trump is losing less voters than Kamala Harris did. Important is to see that RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., is gaining ground again. Like, people are looking for a third option. And here you can see the map again. You can see Kamala Harris has a lead in the West Coast, Northeast, and she lost Wisconsin. She lost Michigan. And this is, at the moment, not good for her. By the way, Pennsylvania also went to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has a narrow lead in Pennsylvania. Here on the map, you can see how close the race is. So we have many solid blue states. We have many blue-leaning states. Same with the red solid states. But we also have battleground states. These are Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. These are the states that we must watch when the election day is here. Looking at the states flip this week, you can see Michigan at the moment, Donald Trump has a lead of 1%, Pennsylvania 2% lead, Wisconsin 1% lead for Donald Trump. So at the moment, he has the upper hand, but who knows, could change in the next days again. Comparing the race again on the scale, we can also see that the blue-leaning states have 226 votes, while the red-leaning states have 252 votes. And in the middle, well, this is too close to call. Now let's see where Kamala Harris gained and lost. Well, she lost in California, she lost in Colorado, lost in Texas, Florida, South Carolina, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and also in Wisconsin. But she gained in Illinois, she gained in Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan, also in Maryland. And in direct comparison, Donald Trump also lost in California. He also lost in Wyoming. He lost in Virginia and Texas and in Florida and in Maine and in Massachusetts. Same in Illinois and in Indiana. But he gained in Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Nebraska, in South Dakota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. So it's getting more tighter here. Now this map shows where undecided voters and third parties gained. So we have California, Texas, we have Colorado, Wyoming, Florida, Virginia, Maine, and Massachusetts. But they lost in Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Nebraska, South Dakota, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. Now let's have a closer look to where Puerto Ricans live in the incorporated states of the United States of America. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, and you find them mostly in Florida, in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. You can also find them in Connecticut. For example, so these are the states where they are very populated. You can also find them in Texas, you can find them in Arizona, in California, in Georgia, North Carolina, but also, for example, in Ohio. So it depends if the remarks made in the Madison Square Garden rally will damage Donald Trump or not. Now let's talk shortly of the margin of error. Here's a quote from 538. Trump and Harris are both a normal polling error away from a blowout. And well, the margin of error, usually we're talking about 3 to 3.5%. And this means that the result can be, if we have, for example, Kamala Harris here, 47%. Well, it could be that she will, in the poll election day, will have 44% instead of 47, or she will have 50%. And Donald Trump, same way, 48%, could have 51% or 45%. And this means it's too close to call. Everything can happen right now in the states where there's only a narrow lead. Then also talk about probability. Media outlets are currently giving out chances to win the election for each candidate. So at the moment we have Donald Trump, for example, a 50% chance to win the election, Kamala Harris 49.9% to win the election. But first of all, please know, chance and probability is not the same as a poll. The poll measures the public opinion at the current time. So when statisticians say that, for example, Kamala Harris has a 49% chance of winning the election, it means that if the election were run 100 times under the same conditions, we would expect her to win 49 out of those 100 times. If an event has a 95% probability of occurring, but the less likely outcome happens, it does not mean the probability was wrong. It just means that the 5% chance event occurred. Then just let's go to predictions and indicators. Of course, there are people who are predicting the election or trying to predict it. So here's some chosen predictions and indicators. For example, Alan Lichtman, an historian, says Kamala Harris will win. The misery index, consisting of the unemployment rate and the inflation rate, says Kamala Harris will win. Polymarkets, a prediction market from Panama, says Donald Trump will win. Then we have James Carville, Democratic strategist, saying, of course, Kamala Harris will win. And we have Nate Silver, 538, founder, says Donald Trump will win. Then Christophe Barrault, an economist, says Donald Trump will win. We also have the Dow Jones Industrial Average indicator saying Kamala Harris is going to win. And then we have the indicator that the Washington Commanders, formerly known as the Redskins, had a home victory in the last home match before the election. And this would mean the incumbent party wins, and thus Kamala Harris would win the presidential election. No matter what, I wish you a nice election day. And we hope that the election day will be peaceful, it will be respectful, and that in the end, the winner will get the respect from the losing party, regardless of who wins. And we hope that transition will be peaceful. Please, if you go vote, always respect the other party, regardless who you are voting for. Thank you for watching, and see you after the election. Then we will analyze the outcome. Thank you very much.